Your wee guy here with a quick introduction video to the world of torrents. A little bit about what they are, where to download them, and how to download them. Now, without getting into too much detail, there are only a couple of things that I think you should know about torrents, and those are seeds and peers, or sometimes called leechers. Simply put, seeds are people sharing a file, and peers or leechers are people downloading a file. The more people you have sharing a file, the faster the download speeds will be. So that's something that you want to take into consideration when you're looking for a torrent file to download. Now, before we can download these files, we need a BitTorrent client. And my favorite one, and also the most popular one amongst users, is uTorrent. So you can head on over to utorrent.com and get your free download. Once that is downloaded and installed, let's open it up here and dive into the preferences. First place that I'm going to take you is to the directory settings. Here is just a convenient little option to set the download paths for your files. For example, my new downloads are put into a folder titled incomplete, and once they are finished downloading and they are completed, I have uTorrent move them on over to a folder titled complete. Alright, now I'm going to send you over to the connection settings. This number here, your port number, I want you to take note of that. Write that down or copy and paste it somewhere. We're going to need that number. It doesn't necessarily have to be the same as mine, but we'll need it for later. Everything else here you see on my screen, make sure it's the same. Have randomized port each start unticked, and all these settings down here untouched. Next, move on over to bandwidth. For the maximum upload rate, we're going to set that to 80% of our actual maximum upload rate. And mine happens to be 410 kilobytes per second. And let's make sure this box here is ticked off for alternate upload rate when not downloading, and we are going to set that to our max. In the sidebar, I'll have a description of how to figure those numbers out. The last setting we're going to play with here is in the advanced settings. We're going to scroll down and look for a setting titled net.max underscore half open. I've already got mine set up, but yours is going to be a much smaller number, like 6 or 8, something like that. We're going to need to change that value to 60. Once it is changed, click Set, Apply, and OK. Now that we've got that all set up, we need to open up some ports, and that's if you're behind a router. In most cases, you can get to your router's settings by typing in the IP address of the router, and 9 times out of 10, the IP address of your router is 192.168.1.1. Once you're in, log in and look for the port forwarding options. In my case, for my Linksys router, it's under the category Application and Gaming. I've already opened mine up, but what you're going to do is type in that port number that I had you take note of in the external and internal port boxes. And for the protocol, we're going to select both. And we are also going to punch in the IP address of the computer that you're going to be using with the uTorrent program. Once all those settings are punched in, go ahead and save your settings. Now that everything is set up, you are ready to start downloading torrent files. My favorite BitTorrent tracking website is btjunkie.org. Just like any search engine, you just type in what you're looking for. In this case, we will look for Super Mario Galaxy. And it will list the torrents. I have them listed with the greatest number of seeds to the lowest number of seeds. Top listing has 500 some seeds, very big number, but it's got a very poor seed to peer ratio. So we're going to stick with the next one, which has a better seed to peer ratio, and it still has a decent number of seeds. So once we have that file downloaded, we are going to open it up in uTorrent. Here you can set a label for the file. We'll just set it to Wii Games for this example, and click OK. Now, before I close the video here, I'm going to explain to you a little bit about what's going on. Here we have the title of the file, the queue number, the status, the size of the file, how much of that file you've uploaded, your ratio, a progress bar, the download speed, the upload speed, how many seeds are connected to this file, how many peers are connected to this file, and the ETA, the estimated time of arrival. Of course, as the download speeds come up, which they will, the ETA will drop. So, now with all this information, you're on your way and you're ready to go and download your very own torrent files for yourself. They've got everything out there, people, so have fun with it.